Hi, and welcome to IDK. Today we're going to recap and review an action crime thriller film from 2021 titled The Wrath of Man. Caution, spoilers ahead. I'm just giving a summary of my personal thoughts on the film. This in no way replaces actually seeing the film for yourself. Enjoy! The movie starts with two security guards who are moving cash in an armored truck. A group of men dressed as construction workers stop them. When they stop, the workers take out weapons and explosives and rob them, and wind up killing two guards alongside with a regular citizen. After the horrible event, Fortica Security attempts to expand their workforce by recruiting new staff. 5 months after the incident, a newcomer, Patrick Hill, is employed as a security guard. His new chief, Terry, tells him about the misfortune and that no one got caught for the robbery. He cautions Patrick to keep his head down and just do the work. Patrick goes through the fundamental training and tests under Coach Hayden, whom they call Bullet. Patrick just passes the 70% score he needs to qualify. He drives the truck clumsily into boxes and shows barely enough skill to hit the targets. But he passes.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a new addition.
Right off the bat, Dave, aka Boy Sweat, doesn't get Patrick's humor in their first exchange, but H succeeds in impressing Dana, the only female member. All the staff, including Sticky John, whom H replaced to become Dave's partner, treat H like a rookie, throwing shady remarks and gestures. Bullet joins Dave and H on his first ride. He tells H before getting into the truck.
We ain't the predators, we're the prey.
On the drive, Boy Sweat tells H that he's supposed to be driving the armored truck that was in the incident 5 months ago, but he was sick. He was at his mom's place. She was his alibi. Everything is going smoothly as H accompany Bullet into the bank and collect the money. They reach back to their depot safe on the first day and enter through the heavy security gates and metal entrances guarded by Sticky John. At the end of the day, the guards clock out using their IDs and place them on the board before heading to the pool hall for some bonding time. Bullet invites H to join them and he accepts. H asks Bullet to give him a minute and takes the opportunity to look at the IDs of his new colleagues. At the pool game, other guards press Sticky to confront H.
You ain't much for talking, are you, Mary Poppins?
Oh, no, I can talk. I just don't want to talk to you. Let me buy you a beer. Just make sure you drink it over there.
Well, that's embarrassing. On one of their collection rides, Bullet goes out alone to collect a small amount of $10,000. But Boy Sweat tries to contact him. They find out that Bullet had been kidnapped by robbers. Boy Sweat freaks out and suggests to H that they should just leave with the $2.5 million in the truck. The robbers will leave Bullet alive as 10 grand is too little money to kill him. But H firmly tells him,
You don't want to do this? You can get out of the truck now. But we're not leaving him behind. He's one of us.
As they follow the robbers' instruction to drive the truck to a deserted place. One of the masked robbers steps out of the vehicle in front of them and shows them Bullet, now battered and bruised and handcuffed. And while the robber on the transceiver tells them to throw the money into the trunk of the pickup, Boy Sweat tells H the robbers will kill all three of them and take the money, but H tells him to shut up and goes into the back, where he begins to throw the money bags one by one into the flatbed, but deliberately throws one onto the floor. The robber warns H against playing games, and Boy Sweat starts sweating, asking H to just follow their orders. When a robber steps out to pick up the bag on the floor, he shoots him, and also the robber holding Bullet, as well as the others, leaving just the one who was giving the orders. H calmly chases him to the abandoned warehouse, leaving Boy Sweat and Bullet in awe. It doesn't take long for H to catch up and ask the robber who he works for. The robber chooses to insult him instead of answering, and H goes postal. Boy Sweat and Bullet arrive, and H asks Boy Sweat if he's alright, or did he crap himself. As they both stand there in shock, H unmasks the faces of the other dead robbers, but doesn't find who he's looking for. Two FBI officers turn up to inquire about the incident. They ask H how his shooting during the incident was so precise, while his shooting score was pretty average on the test. He says he may have been more focused being in a situation of kill or be killed. They then let H watch the security video of the old robbery where the three men were killed and ask H if he could find any connection with the incident he was in. H focused on the pixelated face of the guy in the center of the video who was the shooter. However, he tells the FBI officers that it wasn't them. The officers later tell their boss, FBI agent King, that H was actually the guy they have been searching for 25 years. But their boss replies, let the painter paint. King instructs them to stay clear of H. Following the incident, Terry suggests H should stay away from the truck duty for a month and attend some sessions with the company's psychiatrist as per the protocol of the company. But neither H nor Fortica's owner, Blake, likes the idea. The boss tells Terry not to punish H, but promote him, as it is good for team morale and their public image as well. As a result, H goes right back to truck duty, and when he walks inside the depot the next day, he is welcomed with applause and earns the respect of his colleagues. Afterwards, H also gets an assistant to bring him the personal files of all Forticus security personnel, Dana's family pictures, and the autopsy report of the person who died in the old robbery incident. 3 months later, with only Bullet accompanying H in the truck, they run into another group of robbers with guns. The robbers paint all the windows and mirrors of the truck black. Bullet immediately calls in Code Red as they try to gas them out of the truck. Bullet goes down on the floor coughing, while H steps out of the truck and is ordered to get on the ground. But as soon as he uncovers his face, the robbers immediately abort the mission. Terry is shocked by how H again comes out alive and unharmed.
So let me get this straight. They just walked away.
Bullet also privately tells Boy Sweat the story, calling H a dark spirit. Dana finally lets H know how she feels, leading to a sleepover at her place. However, in the middle of the night, H interrogates her at gunpoint about some money he found and asks her if she is working as the insider. She denies it and says that she just stole the money on one of her assignments as pension money. H tells her that he knows all her contacts, including her parents, and warns against keeping any information from him. Flashback to 5 months earlier, he is going out with his son Doug. His assistant Mike, was the same robber who stopped the robbery when he saw H in the security guard uniform, calls him about a last-minute issue in their robbery plan. Mike asks H to do a small job as one of the regular guys can't make it to the place, which is very near to where H is at the moment. All he needs to do is observe the Fortica truck come out of the gate and tell him if it turns left or right. H reluctantly agrees that this is his quality time with his son. On the drive, H finds a food truck near the gate. He lies to Doug about being hungry and parks the car. He asks Doug to sit inside before walking to the food truck and ordering 2 burritos. He observes the truck take a right turn and passes the information to Mike. However, the truck gets stopped by another group of robbers dressed as construction workers near to the place where H had parked his car. One of the robbers shouts to Doug to step out of the car. Doug calls his father, but he's still on a call with Mike and can't see what's happening by his car. Doug gets out of the car and lies flat on the floor as ordered, but he turns his head to see the robber killing 2 guards. Meanwhile, H starts making his way back and sees his son being killed. He starts running towards him but is shot down as well. H wakes up after 3 weeks. He's in a hospital bed and the doctor tells him that his son didn't make it. Doug's mother blames H for the death of her son. He calls his contact FBI agent King as to who the robbers were, but the only lead he got was a list of known criminals that H could sift through as he tried to find the actual person who killed his son. For the next couple of weeks, H, Mike, and their crew waged a war against every name on that list, dropping bodies wherever they seemed fit. After a lot of rage and no results, Mike suggests that they need to take it from a different approach. H takes Mike's suggestion and tells him that he'd go back to London for a while. However, H gets Christie to produce him with a brand new identity under the name of Patrick Hill, with experience in security industry which qualifies him to apply for Fortica security. So now we know why ever since he joined, he's been looking for the insider and for the actual robber that shot his son. Flashback to a few more months before, 6 disgruntled ex-military veterans with different financial difficulties regroup under their former Sergeant Jackson. They decide to rob wealthy Middle Eastern people after one of them, Jan, suggested, starting with stealing just a few $100s. As time goes by, their ambitions grow as well. Everyone still respects their sergeant except Jan. He expresses irritation about the number of middlemen they need to pay to turn their stolen items into cash. They then decide to directly rob the armored trucks by paying just one insider and splitting the money 7 ways. As their spoils go into millions of dollars, Jackson asks them to be careful not to quit their jobs and buy anything flashy and not to draw any attention to themselves. But of course, Jan doesn't care what Jackson or anyone says. They have a party for Jackson's birthday and decide to plan and rob the Fortica truck with a good insider buddy of Jackson. After rigorous preparation and planning, they dress up like construction workers and sit on the site when H parks his car on the roadside. That shouldn't be a problem, Jackson says, and assigns a member to take care of the car. They stop the truck and get the guards out. Jan keeps a gun on the guards, while one of them pulls Doug from the car and makes him lie on the ground. The others transfer the cash bags from the truck to their vehicle. Everything is going on plan until one of the guards tries to pull his gun on Jan. After a scuffle, Jan shoots the guard before gunning down the second guard as well. When Jackson asks if everything is okay on the earpiece, Jan says okay before finding Doug on the floor, who had witnessed the whole thing. One crew member berates Jan for killing the kid before finding H running towards them. He tells Jan to shoot him in the legs, but Jan fires at his chest and watches him as he falls to the ground before getting into their vehicle. After several months, the group meet again, itching for an even bigger score. Jackson tells Jan that he's lucky to still be a part of their team. He then tells the team that their next robbery can fund them and their families for life and that they shouldn't need any more heists after this one. But this plan is not as foolproof as the others. He warns them that some of them may not come out alive. But as none of them waver, Jackson reveals his plan to rob not just the cash truck, but all of them from the Fortico Depot on Black Friday, where they could be anywhere north of $150 million. Back at the Fortico Depot, Terry alerts the guards of the special levels of security they need to take on Black Friday. Before going on their final heist, Jackson scolds Jan for his expensive spending despite him telling him not to do so. On Black Friday, Bullet and H drive out. After their last collection, Bullet tells H that he is the insider of the group that had robbed their truck all those months back, killing the 3 people. The guards needed to be killed, but the kid's death was unfortunate, he said. He then tells H that he had taken the bullets out of his gun already and that they are planning to rob the depot today. He tells H to stay calm and cooperate if he wants to stay alive. He then switches off the camera on the truck before taking it to the warehouse where Jackson and all his men, all geared up in bulletproof armor, join them. One of them searches H and slaps him, warning him to be a good boy during the heist. Jan and 3 others come inside of the cash truck while Jackson and 1 other follow in their own vehicle. Their truck is the last one to arrive at the depot. The 4 armed men come out of the truck and take control of the parking space. They take Terry, Boyset, and H, and even Bullet as hostages. Dana gets inside of a cash truck to take a signature from another guard, Stewart, who calls her inside to show her a funny video. The robbers tie H's hands and legs while carrying Bullet along with a gun to his head, asking the staff inside to open the metal door of the vault. But Sticky John hits the warning siren as soon as he sees them, and the staff starts shooting at the robbers. One of the 4 robbers places an explosive in the metal door before joining others and kill many of the guards. The ballistic plates in their armor save the robbers from most of the fire, but one of them gets severely injured before they breach the metal gate and open the outer gate for Jackson and their other guys to come in with their vehicle. Jackson takes charge of the depot and asks his crew to sweep the building while the police arrive outside and alert SWAT. They start loading the cash into bags while counting down the 8 minutes it would take the SWAT team to arrive. They need to leave before SWAT arrives as their vehicle cannot stop the armored truck, unlike the police cars which can be easily punched through. The robbers neutralize all the guards beside Dana, Stewart, and Shirley, who are at the back of the truck. While Stewart thinks they should wait for the SWAT team, Shirley says no, this will be too late, and starts shooting at one of the robbers. H uses it to his advantage while his robber is distracted. He shoots the robber's foot with his own gun before choking him out. Then he frees himself with a knife and also unties Terry and Boy Sweat, who asks him,
What do you want us to do?
You can do whatever you like.
Boy Sweat decides to follow H to face the robbers, but Terry drags him back to go to safety through the back door with him. Shirley gets shot down, but Dana and Stewart collects guns and try to fire at the robbers. H approaches another robber, makes him take off his helmet and shoots him. The others take notice of that right away. Boy Sweat gets a body shot into his bulletproof vest by a robber, whom H catches. A scuffle and exchange of blows ensue for a while before H takes a shot at him, but only with an empty gun. However, the knife on the robber's armor helps him put the robber down as well. Boy Sweat looks at H's bloody head in terror as H removes his helmet. However, he decides to fight and follow H this time. As Jackson calls his remaining men to move out with the cash, Bullet reaches Diana and Stewart, asking them for a gun. Stewart gives them a gun, which he uses to kill them both. H shoots down 2 more robbers before Bullet gets to him. Bullet then calls out Boy Sweat like a buddy and shoots him down as well. Jackson, Jan, and Bullet are the only survivors of their crew and leave the depot with the cash in the truck, blowing through the police barricades. Jackson starts to bleed heavily with an injured neck before they reach a building's garage as planned, escaping the police. Bullet and Jan shift the money bags into a carrier for the elevator, while injured Jackson stays behind in the truck, making his gun ready for Jan, but he catches him in the act and slits his throat without a sound. He tells Bullet that Jackson succumbed to his injuries as they go down to the secret tunnel and ride on the two four-wheel bikes to reach a car parked at the other end. Bullet is suspicious of Jan and prepares himself to take him down, but he's too slow. Jan puts a bullet in his head without a second thought before taking the money back to his place. He treats himself to a drink when he hears the phone ring. He looks at his phone, but it's not his. He follows the sound and finds a mobile phone in one of the money bags.
Makes you gonna answer it.
Jan tells H that he's willing to share the money, but H throws his son's autopsy report to him. Jan reads it out loud, and it says his 4 bullets had hit liver, lungs, spleen, and the heart of his son. Jan then remembers H's face from the robbery scene. H returns a favor on behalf of his son: liver, lungs, spleen, heart. When H is on his way out, limping with injuries, King comes behind H to ask,
Are we done?
We're done.
and that was an enjoyable watch. Jason Statham is made for roles like this. The plot was decent with a few twists, and the flashbacks explain the movie adequately. All in all, I'd recommend those of you who haven't watched the whole movie to watch it for yourself. I give it a solid 4 thumbs up out of 5.